It occurred to me people might find it interesting, the way I heat the shop. What I have is this old stove. Now, I picked that up at an auction because it was double walled. I got a little screwed because the family said it was in perfect shape, and of course the insides were pretty partially rotted out. So I had to put new guts in it, but that was fine. It was just some sheet metal I bent up. But what that means is I've now got this nice, little clunky, little large double walled stove that even when it's running at its full bore, you can put your hand on it, which gives me quite a bit of peace of mind as far as burning the place down. Now, one thing about this stove that's a little irritating, you'll notice that I've added this flapper thing here, is when you go to light it, it won't draft out the chimney right away, so it just billows smoke back out into the room. But I've learned to deal with it. You learn to light it quickly. You can see, well, you can't really see, that's the inner firebox. You know, I've got a ring of cast iron plates down at the bottom, some of which came from the stove, some of which were salvaged from other things, just to radiate some heat. And then you can't see it, but there's a cast iron plate on the very bottom of it. It's actually a neat old stove. Doesn't seal very well. So it obviously is convection, column of air comes up through, and what I've done is these are actually spike cans from the railroad that I've slit lengthwise, and they're attached to the guts from a dryer. This works fantastic, and I just use it as a little tiny forced air furnace, essentially. I'm pulling the hot air that rises through, pulling it up, and then I'm blowing it out and to the upstairs. And the only thing I would change about the upstairs is you need more than one line, because it comes out of there in a torrent. However, it's a warm torrent, which is much better than years past. So when I have time and money, I hope to put a series of Ys in here, split this various trunk line, and I think that if you did 3, that it would be a nice acceptable thing. But I mean, let's face it, there's $40 in ducting and elbows and whatnot just getting it that far. So for the meantime, I can live with the torrent. The only problem I did find with the dryer motor is it starts to overheat when you let it run for 8 hours. So that is a fan. There's no guard on it. That is a fan off of, I think, a refrigerator cooler. But anyways, it just bored it out, slapped it on there, and that took away the heating problems. This has been working ideal now for a very long time. And then to heat the lower half, I use one of these El Cheapo heat exchangers. And I know these things burned a lot of houses down, but that was with the wood stoves. Running this, I don't get any creosote. It's just not that well sealed. So I don't have any problems, never have, creosoting up and getting too hot. But man, do these things put out a tremendous amount of heat. And more than once I've thought about updating the fan in the back of it in order to push a little more air through. But it works great. I highly recommend the inside guts of a dryer. Nice, beautiful little squirrel cage, and most importantly, all your ports are already attached. Yeah, you could go get a furnace duct fan, but then you got to build your own ducting. This way, cheap, easy, effective. Don't burn your place down and blame it on me. But it's a neat old stove.